Okay, this one is a little dark, actually a lot dark. Especially the first part of it. But then we go further in. It has a lot of beneficial stuff describing like a lot of current negative behaviors that kind of make no sense that's been going on rampant that we've been seeing, like a lot of I guess like narcissistic type of behavior, a negative type of behavior, more of like a selfish type of behavior, and then some like craziness like being irrational, and then being like really mean to others. And this was a couple of days ago. Like, my guides gave me this information, so I'm kind of cringy on doing this one, but it is what it is. And they said whatever right now, because what's going on with the planetary system, that we reached a high energetic system, and it's changing everybody's DNA, causing more higher thinking. And so the title of this one is, whatever is in you is being amplified, especially by the energy, the celestial events, the sun, the moon, the planets, and a lot of distractions are being expressed in our environment. But they said don't be fearful, and they call it a cleansing. Sort of, it's a cleansing. And of course, everything is energy, like attracts like. It's basically all physics. And a lot of the stuff that's going on right now, just along as with the cold reboot, the person is actually doing it to themselves, that we're doing it to ourselves. And they told me we were given 2 keys, and I'll just read it. 2 keys, and they said choose your path carefully. There's no turning back. And with this information, the 2 keys had different levels, like explanation within explanation. And they showed me the 2 colors, red and blue, and you're seeing that in politics, but you also see it as truth and lies, love and hate, coming separation and completion, balance and imbalance, light and dark, creation and destruction. And all the karma energy of the previous lives, and some people who choose to be on the path to work out their karma in this lifetime to evolve out of the karma and have no more karma. So they are no longer, there's certain people, they're no longer stuck in the cycle of reincarnation. So a lot of these people are actually going to, after this, they get to choose whatever life, wherever they're going to exist without any karma tied to it. So a lot of them will become ascended masters, maybe even spirit guides to other people. So they will not be bound by the usual universal laws. That's how evolved they're going to become. But right now, since the energy has changed, manifesting is amped up for everybody. It's not just for specific people. It's amped up for everybody. That's why they said everybody's been given 2 keys. Choose your path. There's no turning back. So whatever you have right now, whatever you are hanging on to, that is what will be manifested. So if you're hanging on to negativity, to chaos, dysfunction, that's what you're going to get. But if you decide to hang on to light, balance, positivity, working on yourself, that's what you're going to manifest. So right now, since the manifesting has like super amped up because of the planetary system stuff and the energies, so people believing that they can do whatever they want without dealing with any like major consequences, because before it used to be like people didn't get their karma like way later on, if not even like until the next lifetime. No, you're getting it, if not almost instantly, in the next couple of weeks or next couple of months. And they said that this would be extenuating circumstances in the longest it could possibly be, which will be very rare in the next 3 years. But they've already told me it'll happen if it hasn't already started, it's going to be in the next couple of months. Like where it's like fucking hardcore ramped up. And I'm pretty sure everybody's experiencing this and feeling a little bit crazy. Believing you can do whatever you want is actually a trap, either positive or negative. And they gave me a picture, like people are just running around, like there's a long dark hallway, like we're not aware of this shit, but basically it's a long dark hallway. If you embrace the dark, it's almost like there's like lasers, swords, and razors just on the sides of the walls, and the person is like, you know what, I'm just going to keep on moving forward, but they're doing it in a dark way. So they're slowly being cut while they're running forward. They're being bled subtly. But this person's like, I feel different. You know, they feel the cuts. They're like, they think they're progressing. No, they're literally killing themselves. Spiritually killing themselves, which is going to be expressed in like life events. And some people will even experience it in their physical body. So depending on how long they're going to progress in this dark behavior, is going to be more cuts. And for those like who embrace basically the light aspect, or they're more balanced, for them it's not actually cuts, it's more like it's healing them, strengthening them. So this person's like, I feel it, there's changes, but they're doing it in a way that's making it stronger and healthier. That's how they describe it, but that picture in my head. And they also said, and then with this new energy, it places us on a different timeline where the old rules and the old physics no longer apply anymore. For those willing to be aware and see and know this, and willing to change, it becomes actually a game changer and a total benefit. So people who decide, the way they describe it to me, it's kind of dark. The way they describe it, like people who embrace like the more unhealthy, unbalanced, and the dark, lean more that way, they're basically saying these people are their own exterminators. And they said, don't fear, see it. I'm not saying that one. Okay. With the amplification with what is already within us, then if negative and not knowing themselves, it causes them to feel confused. And then they think someone is doing this to them, like walking down that hallway getting cut. They think someone else is doing it to them when it's actually them doing it to themselves. So then they blame others when all they need to do is stop, really see the situation and themselves. But not many people don't like, they basically don't like themselves. And and pretty much that's normal. It's just a degree of, and that's what we have to learn, to love ourselves. And then like these people can't face themselves, remaining in confusion, disillusionment, chaos, lashing out at others, going after person with no resolution of their internal chaos, which attracts more chaos with this current energy because it's amplifying what's already within us. And I'll just read and then I guess explain, because it was more like I was just writing as they were telling me, so it's a little bit disorganized and I don't feel like fixing it. That emotional void has to be fulfilled. So it allows negative things to come in and fill that space, which can be anything from entities, shadow, darkness, negative thoughts, ideology, etc. Because, of course, like attracts like. There are things like stress, trauma, toxins, food, even foods, anything you put inside and stuff outside of you, energy, even stuff like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, that damage the amygdala, that allow this void to form, cause disconnection of emotions, especially with our first language, and disconnection, with ourself and the universe. So what that is about is when we're born, we're already born whole. And then when the other one I was talking about, our first language, and then being disconnected from ourself, it actually leaves a hole. And it causes, you can actually feel it, like you feel like you're missing something. So that space, you have to be complete. So something has to fill up that space. When you're disconnected from yourself like that, especially with your first language, there's things that will come and fill that space up. Like the list that I described. And with the amygdala, that's a part of your brain that deals with your emotions. And they've even done studies, like they actually seen this like under MRI, that like people like that are narcissistic, sociopathic, the amygdala is damaged or shrunken. It's damaged. And that's why those people will have like the emotional detachment. They don't have empathy. So it's actual brain damage. And stuff like certain foods, like fucking high fructose corn syrup, energy stuff, it causes brain damage to your amygdala. And I'll go even further. And like with this brain damage, people who cause trauma to other people, stressing out the body, emotional trauma, this stresses out the body so much that it causes that person who received the stress, who received the trauma, to get brain damage, to damage their amygdala. So like this behavior is contagious. So like you see someone like your parents could have been, or you've seen someone who had parents that were had like a narcissistic type of behavior, and they cause trauma to their children, and that damages that child's amygdala. Or even like your spouse could do that to you, damages your amygdala, and it messes up your emotional system. And that's where whoever gets harmed can also become a narcissist. It's pretty messed up. Let me see, especially by those who are emotionally disconnected, causing harm and trauma to others, which does cause damage to the amygdala, brain damage, hence spreading more disconnections within society, basically like a virus infection. So even more so, you should remove people who like to hurt other people, who like to hurt you emotionally. saving yourself and saving other people around you, especially if you have children. Removing the people, situations, environments that cause harm and perpetuate this brain damage and an emotional disconnect. So these people are running around hurting themselves and others because of the lack of emotional awareness and dysfunction, and losing that first language with themselves and with the universe. And there's chemicals that also do this. Fluoride, yay! It also does that too to your brain. Fluoride. It shuts down the emotional state and does cause brain damage. And more brain damage the younger that the person is exposed to it, and the longer. And it actually numbs the emotional system. And so in this way, the person becomes basically more sociopathic in that aspect, shutting down their emotions. And it actually correlates with causing increased rate of divorces, dissatisfaction in relationships, because it's almost like, since the emotional part is disconnected and shut down and it's damaged, it takes more for them to feel excited, to get that high. So these people end up running from relationship to relationship, basically running from adrenaline fix to adrenaline fix. It takes more and more. They need more excitement to get stimulated. Basically, as if they're a sociopath or narcissist, they're just unhappy all the time, need outside sources. It escalates like a drug addict, increasing the chaos and within the internal and the external. And it's like that void, they can't fill it up. So like after the initial part of the relationship, like that excitement is gone. They think that the love is gone. No, it's just you have brain damage, your emotional part. And so you can see how that would increase the divorce rate, cheating, and people deciding, like one relationship is not good enough for them. They need like 6, 10, or they need a new relationship like every couple of days, every couple of hours. In this part, I forgot I wrote this part. So when you keep your first language with yourself and then with the universe. So you don't have that void. Because you know yourself. And you love yourself. What ends up happening, you don't have that void, so you're satisfied. You're not looking for something outside yourself to be happy. And after that, you know what happens after that? Everything in your life is a fucking bonus. Like the littlest thing brings you joy. The simplest things. You run around like the world is brand new, like a little kid, because you already filled up the space, so everything's extra, so it's exciting. So you run around like a little kid that discovered something. And it's very exhilarating to run around like that, because the stupidest shit makes you happy. So then your emotional first language in this state speaks to the universe that this is your reality, translating it to manifest even more in your reality. So you receive more fulfillment, more joy, more awe, more fun, more positivity. So it just like before. It's simple, but complicated.